Hey, Matt, how are you today?
Good, Jared. How are you?
Man, to be quite honest, man, I am freezing. We have gotten hit with that Oklahoma storm that's covering the Midwest. Temperatures in the negative 29s and wind chill this week. It has been miserable. We have spent the last 24 hours scooping snow and boiling it so we would have water.
That sounds brutal. You sound like you got yourself a good old Wisconsin winter down there.
This past week, AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. What a tournament came down to the last hole. There was excitement and drama all over the place. You got Daniel Berger winning at 18 under par. Maverick McNeely finishing at 16 under par. Let's go ahead and take a look at this video as a quick recap of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Well, you're right. This looks very good. Hold on a second.
Perfect.
He wants to carry this a little, not quite as far as he did, but it has a chance.
Oh, great.
Oh, my. This could keep his interest. There we go. Pretty tight line.
And pretty tidy
Oh,
shot.
my goodness.
Still a lot of chip-ins, Nick.
Yeah, here we go from the right side, and is it?
Oh, he's handing out the prezzies.
Nose buddy, big beautiful Harry Higgs. Little tickle with a wedge, languid pass. Ooh, little spin. Oh, bang!
Achieved that over here at 14. This is Brian Harmon, left-hander playing up the hill from around 150 yards, and look at this.
Oh,
Jars one for Eagle.
we're fine.
That might not be a word that I'd use today. And Brendan Steele at 15 a moment ago from 125.
You're kidding me?
Yeah.
This is how you play the go on left turn.
Back out to the second. The Stanford grad, Maverick McNeely. Playing nicely here through 36 holes. Oh, bank yourself in for an eagle as well if you don't mind.
Hey, Gary, he's missed a few shots left. Wedge in hand, 100 yards down the hill.
You don't want to miss this one left. And that is far more.
That's a great view.
Well, now we got Daniel Berger having a lash here at 4. Paul Casey, as you mentioned, Nick.
Yeah,
almost got it there.
I'm in a count. Oh, that's impressive.
Wow,
What a
wow.
shot that is. What a tee shot that is.
Tia now his third shot.
Looks like he's going to try to take this upstairs, carry it past the brow. That's what he's done.
We'll go to grab. Wow, special.
Let's go back to 16.
He could be shaken or stirred. Never know. Oh, big turn here for Spieth. Oh, is this any good? Is this any good? One more roll. One more. Oh, yeah.
It was Fluff's second win here. He won 25 years before that. That's how you win here, right there. Oh, how'd that not go in?
Maverick McNeely is still in the chase. 3 back. Make it 2 back. Hole in 1 in the Crosby tournament with a 3-iron, Nick.
I've hit 5. I've chipped a 5-iron. 92 US Open.
Look at this.
There is the
Oh, gosh.
shot. There it is.
Is that just one lot?
It is out here.
This is just the right of it.
Oh,
that's
John,
beautiful
what a shot.
He's looking a good 5 feet out to the right.
Oh, did he do it? Oh, my
goodness.
And that's gonna be
How about it?
in.
Yes, it is! The 4th of the tournament to take the title.
In and out of this world for Berger.
Daniel Berger takes the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am with a 3 at the 72nd.
Man, I tell you what, this week had everything, right? You had Phil Mickelson taking a 9 on his last hole of the tournament. You had Nate Lashley. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. That is one of the more epic collapses that I have seen. And then you got a young stud in Maverick McNeely coming out of nowhere and really kind of saying hello. I'm here as well. So and you take into a fact that he also had a pretty devastating penalty stroke on Saturday's round, I believe it was. Could have been Friday's round, that really kind of hurt his chances as well. But well, what a great tournament.
It was. It definitely had everything. Enjoyed watching Spieth back in the mix, even though he's still struggling to finish on Sunday. And I too liked watching Maverick McNeely maybe somehow creep out of his girlfriend Danielle King's shadow with that finish. So good stuff all around. Pebble Beach, it's classic. Field size, I don't know that it's ever going to be what it once was, but obviously still fun to watch that golf course though.
They're saying in the commentating that the greens were so quick that if they had them rolling at a major championship level at at 12, I think they were rolling around 11.5, and if they'd had them at the speed that they normally have a PGA major, like a 13, that they would have been darn near unplayable this weekend. And you could tell the pros really were, some of them really were struggling on it. So yeah, it was a great tournament. Berger coming and just staying strong, consistent all week, making some big putts, huge eagles. I mean, he had a heck of a tournament and absolutely deserved that win.
He did. I totally agree with that. And he's still rocking those 2012, 2011 irons he's got in his bag. So proves equipment isn't necessarily everything.
He kind of reminds me of Brandt Snedeker in that way that, Snedeker played with his old TaylorMade R7s for like 15 years before Bridgestone finally convinced him to try some new irons. I think it really exactly, it doesn't come down to the equipment that you're using in your bag. A lot of times it's actually the person swinging it.
Exactly right.
So this week we've got the Genesis Invitational. Last year's winner was Adam Scott at 11 under par. And he actually had 3 runners up: Scott Brown, Sung Kang, and Matt Kuchar, all finishing at 9 under par. I think this is a tough course. I think this is as close to kind of a major championship course. You don't typically see a lot of super low scores at this course. I think there's people that get into a lot of trouble very quickly. You can see some high numbers. I look forward to it. I think it's a tough venue that they seem to do a really great job every year at.
I totally agree. You see some of the best fields in the game coming to play here. I know when Tiger was healthy, he would play here. And this is no different. The field looks a lot different this time around than it did last week. So it's a full field and it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, Tiger, he has played this a number of times. Is this his event he's the host of?
I don't know. I thought so, but because he's played in it recently, obviously not this year, but yeah, I'm not too sure if he's at Riviera, if he just like to play there.
I think it is his event that he's the host of, but he never does well at this course. This course absolutely haunts him. And I think that just really goes to show the test that this course can do on a top level athlete, top level golfer in their prime.
Agree. You have to putt well here. You really have to do everything well here, but the putting is tricky. And, it's usually this way, but I truly think whoever putts best is going to win here this week.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a break real quick, and we'll be right back. And we have Logan Gray here with us today. Logan is a former college golfer out of the University of Central Oklahoma. He also spent a couple of years playing on mini tours in Florida. Looking forward to speaking to you today, Logan. How are you doing today?
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me what it was like to go play college golf and get a scholarship offer to play the game that you love.
Well, yeah, a little story about it. Wasn't super highly recruited out of high school and stuff. I was actually kind of hurt my senior year from another sport and stuff. So kind of knew I had the talent to go play college golf, just didn't really know exactly where. I think a tournament I went in Texas or something. Pat, the UCO head coach, came down there and was just on the first tee watching people swing. And I knew who he was. I didn't know who he was out there, recruiting and stuff. And he saw me swing. And after he got done playing golf, he came up to me and asked me where I was playing and stuff. And I said, well, I haven't really, committed anywhere and stuff like that, but definitely want to play college golf somewhere. So he said, hey, very interested in you. When's your next tournament? So I think it was the next week after that. He came out and watched me, and then it kind of just took off from there. And he said, well, I got a spot on the team for you, the scholarship, would love to have you. So that was kind of how the balls got rolling on getting a scholarship to play golf. So
good stuff. So what was it like for you to be playing so close to home? Do you feel like that was an advantage for you?
Well, it's funny you say that. I always kind of had, maybe dreams of playing, on a big Division I university like a lot of kids do, maybe going to Florida, California, somewhere over there. But when Pat came, recruited me and what he had to offer, just his tenure, a little background on him, he played on the PGA Tour for 10 plus years, great pedigree, great knowledge of the game and stuff. And when he said at Gaillardia was one of our home courses, which is in Oklahoma City, a great private club there, that was kind of the home run for me, getting to practice there every day. 30 minutes away from home. So it kind of worked out for the best. It was ran just like a Division I university. Pat was a great college coach. Unbelievable. So I enjoyed my time there. And yeah, I think it was huge being close to home and stuff. So.
And how would you describe your playing career? Did you ever win at the collegiate level?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I never won at the collegiate level. We had Eric as one of probably our best player there. He won, I think, 3 or 4 times, but it's hard to win at any level and stuff. I believe I finished second 3, maybe 4 times. Had a handful of top 10s. Probably my best finish was my senior year at conference. We played the MIAA conference, which still UCO plays to this day. Finished second conference. So I think that was probably my best finish overall. Like I said, had a very good career. I didn't want to say I've, had a great career, but I was very steady throughout my career. A lot of top 10s, a lot of top 20s and stuff like that, and everything. So like I said, never won, but probably, I think finishing second, probably 3 or 4 times was my best finishes and stuff.
So from high school to college to tour golf, what was the difference in level of play that you saw, as well as the difference in playing college to trying to make it onto the tour?
Yeah, for sure. The level is a little different. I think, in college golf, I had a group of guys, 5 of us close friends that worked together each and every day, pushed each other every day. We had a goal of winning a national championship. And so I was around that for 4 years. When you go play professionally, you're out there by yourself, you're practicing by yourself, you're doing this out, so you're on an island by yourself, and you got to find ways to motivate yourself and things like that. So that's the difference. A lot of people don't realize that when you're in college, you're playing for an actual team. When you get to the next level, you're playing for yourself, and then you're putting up your own money, and you're trying to win. So it's a lot of pressure on yourself, and people don't realize that. And that little bit of pressure can either some people rise. Some people don't rise to the top. So like I said, it is definitely an added pressure when you're just playing for yourself, you got money on the line and stuff. But either way, both was great experiences. I loved it. I would go back. I was just talking to my buddies the other day. I'd go back in a heartbeat, start college golf all over again and everything. So I enjoyed it. It was the best time of my life, hands down.
So I got to ask you, Logan, do you have a funny story or something that's kind of quirky that happened to you during either your collegiate or your mini tour career that you could share with us?
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things we go back to, probably not mini tour stories, but probably more college stories. I'm always with a group of guys and stuff, and they always tee us off right. We're back to back and stuff. So sometimes there's always a hold up on the tee and stuff. And normally it's a par 3 and stuff like that. So, normally by the rules of golf, you can't actually ask your partner or your teammate what club they actually hit off that tee. So by the rules, that would be cheating and stuff. So the funny thing was, I don't know who even started or what happened, but instead of asking someone directly, they always said, "Hey, Logan, how many pancakes did you eat today?" I was like, "What?" So this is our new kind of inside, not really cheating, but kind of bending the rules a little bit. It's like, how many pancakes you hit right there? Or how many pancakes did you eat this morning? So I had 9 pancakes, which meant a 9-iron and stuff. So we kind of use that as a joke a little bit. I've kind of told the buddies and stuff. So it's kind of caught on even out here at the golf course. So, hey, Logan, how many pancakes you have right there? Well, I had 7 right there. So I hit a 7-iron. So that's kind of a little funny story I always remember and stuff. So I thought that was a good one to share.
Yeah, I love that. So what's next for you? You've realized that golf is not going to be your career, but is it still something that you feel like you can use within your career? At least the knowledge and experience that you've had from that. What do you do next for your career?
Yeah, for sure. I'm hoping golf can kind of be a stepping stone into. I'm actually in the insurance business now, so I work for Cornerstone Insurance out of Tuttle, Oklahoma, and stuff. So yeah, a lot of people, nowadays love golf. A lot of business deals are done on the golf course. So yeah, I'm hoping that this golf can give me a way in to grow this business and stuff like that. So meet people, network, connect, and all that stuff. So even though I don't play at a professional level anymore, I still enjoy playing, love playing with different people and stuff. So yeah, I'm still going to play, still hoping to network and do that with the golf and stuff. So
Logan, how can someone go about getting in touch with you for their insurance needs in Central Oklahoma?
Yeah, for sure. So my email is logan@cigok.com. Shoot me an email, or you can get to me by phone, 405-641-0861. We specialize in home and auto, boat, RV, whatever you need to get insured. We're an independent agency. I shop around, try to find the best deal for you. So love to, at least give you a quote and see if I can help you out.
Yeah, great stuff, Logan. I know you'll do well in your career just as you did on the golf course. So you are now our picker of the week, the listener picker for our fantasy grip it and sip it golf game. Who's your picks and why?
Yeah, well, by the way, I like the grip it, sip it. That's a good name, by the way. Yeah, so obviously I picked world number 1. You can't go wrong without him, Dustin Johnson, just coming off a win overseas. It's going to be a big field, great test of golf. A golf course is probably close to a major championship style layout. So definitely picking Dustin. Going to pick Brooks Koepka as well, coming off the big win at the Phoenix. He's coming off that injury. I think he's kind of re-energized. I think he's going to play very good. I also looked at the pairings last night and picked Bubba Watson kind of as a dark horse a little bit. Bubba's won there, I believe, twice. He actually paired with Dustin the first 2 rounds. So I think it's going to be a very comfortable pairing and stuff. And I think they're going to feed off each other. And then my last pick will be James Hahn. I don't know if he got his first win there. I know he's won once on tour, but I know he's played good there in the past. Should have had a chance to win at the Phoenix. The putter kind of let him down the last few holes. But, yeah, those are my picks of the week, and hopefully one of those guys gets it done.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Logan. I appreciate you coming on this week, and good luck with your picks. And
hey, thank you.
Looking forward to this snow disappearing so we can get out there and hit the link soon.
For sure. Thanks for having me on, Jared. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, my pleasure, buddy.
Great stuff there, Logan. Love to hear that. Now we are on to our grip it and sip it fantasy game, brought to you by Next AT&T Now and Matt Lindbergh Golf. Keep in mind, this year we are giving away $50 to our low listener, and that's coming from Matt Lindbergh Golf and Next AT&T Now. This is where we pick 4 players each week. Total prize money is the goal. You are trying to pick the lowest guys. We cannot pick the same players in particular in consecutive weeks. This is going to start from the beginning of the year through the Tour Championship. So I am bringing up the rear in this game so far. So I'm going to try to turn it around this week. Jared, my picks are Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, and Tony Finau.
Those are some good picks, and it looks like Dustin Johnson is definitely the popular pick. Dustin Johnson will also be one of my picks. I think he's a stud, obviously world number 1, coming off a big win overseas. Matt Kuchar, runner-up last year. He's a consistent guy on a course like this. He doesn't usually find himself getting into a lot of trouble. I think he's, usually a pretty solid top 10 guy for an event like this. Rory McIlroy, I think Rory's playing great right now. I think he's ready for a victory. I think he's made a couple mental errors here and there, but he's ready to kind of make that kind of breakthrough and get back in the winner's circle. And then I've got JT Poulsen as my dark horse of the week. I think JT's been playing great. I think he is really in a position where he can get that first or second victory, right? So those are my picks this week. I will say I'm pretty impressed with last week's finish for me. I had Berger in first place, Casey and Spieth tied for third, Cantley and Spieth tied for third, and then Casey in fifth place. So all four of my picks were in top five, which vaulted me into first place. And here is our leaderboard for the updated standings. So this past week, the PGA Tour announced they are going to be allowing rangefinders in their 3 PGA majors, which is the PGA Championship, the KPMG Women's Championship, and the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship. This has come at quite a disturbance to a lot of pros, some in favor and some like Webb Simpson screaming from the high heavens that this should not be allowed. Matt, what are your thoughts here?
When I saw the news come out, I thought it was interesting. I've seen, a lot of players' opinions. They're definitely not shy on this one to state their opinions, most of which I think have seemed kind of on the more negative side of, hey, what is this going to prove? It's only going to slow down play. I mean, these caddies are really good in my opinion, so I don't think this makes a big difference. I think it's just a blip of news and it's going to kind of go away. You might see a little different look, but hopefully it doesn't slow down play. Hopefully it actually speeds it up, but jury's out on that one.
President Jim Richardson noted how the organization is hoping to improve the flow of play by allowing players easy access to yardages obtained by aiming the device at a flagstick and quickly getting a number. Guys like Webb Simpson said it's frustrating that they never ask the ones who know the best what we think. I truly don't believe it'll speed up play 1 minute. I'd have to agree with Webb. I think you're still going to have instances where the guy is trying to get exactly the front edge of the green. You and I both know that you can't really get that with the rangefinder. You're still going to have the caddy do his job. You're still going to have them up and down. And if the caddy's saying, I think it's 125, and it's someone you trusted all your life, and you've got a device telling him it's 127 or 128, you can see some walk-offs coming on. I hope it doesn't. But I mean, as you said, the jury's still out. I think it'll be an interesting thing. And I hope it doesn't turn into a trend where more and more events actually allow it to be on tour. There's certain things on tour that I like to see, like the men having to wear pants at all time. I personally am a fan of that. No rangefinders. I think it stays back to the tradition of the game. And I think if you change too much of that, it could be a slippery slope.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a lot change from it. I agree with that sentiment.
And Matt, next up, I got to tell you, I have not been able to go out and really practice your putting technique from last week with the storms that have come in, and my club's in my locker at the golf course. But I'm looking forward to seeing your tip this week. What do you got for us this week?
Since we're doing a tip every week, I thought it right to be thorough. So this week we are going to do a grip tip on proper grip, because lots of lessons that I give, it's cool. I give lessons on TrackMan. There's all these devices, but I see a lot of poor golf grips, and your hands are the only thing that touches the club. So it would be, I always say when I do my job, I have to, check the fundamentals. It's the first thing that I do in a lesson before we get into anything technical. And grip gets changed quite often, surprisingly. So we're doing a grip tip this week. I hope you guys like it.
Hey guys, Matt Lindbergh coming at you from the practice station. Today we're going to talk about grip, why it's important, and how I would at least get you started on the path to a good grip. So in a lot of my lessons, what I tend to see with grip is grip in the palm of the hand instead of in the fingers. Think of it like this. If I was going to pick something up, I'm going to have it more toward my fingers to keep control of it. It's the same thing that goes with golf. If I'm gripping it in the palm and I go to hit a golf shot, that club is going to want to twist and turn all over the place. So when it comes to grip, guys, let's just go through a basic grip that I would teach. It's not necessarily always a one-size-fits-all, but for most people, this is going to be a really good place to start. So instead of in your palm, that's a no. We want to get the grip in the fingers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to grab onto the shaft of the golf club. I'm going to get my left hand and I'm going to place the grip in the fingers, and I'm going to use this part of the pad of my palm to get a good solid grip on the club. Once I've done that, I'm going to wrap my thumb around, and when I place the club down, I want to see these two knuckles. It's okay if you even see part of a third, but I at least want to see my two first knuckles here and here. Once I've got that, I'm going to take my right hand, place it so the thumb is in my lifeline here, and I interlock. It's okay if you overlap. There's really no true right or wrong. It's what works for you. I would say, however, if you are using a 10-finger grip, that could be okay, but typically for most players, that's going to cause the right hand to get too involved. So I would recommend typically a interlocking or an overlap grip, and set the club down and should be square. Now, one thing, this is a stronger grip. So if you are somebody who tends to hit the ball very far left, you could back off of those knuckles, maybe so you're only seeing 1 to 1.5 knuckles. That's a more neutral grip. This is a little bit stronger grip, and typically I teach that because many students tend to lose the ball for a right-handed player to the right. So guys, I hope this helps. Just a quick grip tip. If you have questions, you can contact me, leave a comment, and or come for a lesson here at the practice station.
That's great stuff. I can honestly say that when I was teaching quite a bit in my previous life, that the first thing you start off with is grip, right? And when I'm starting to struggle on the course even now, the first thing I think is looking down at my hands. Are my grips, is my grip correct, right? And typically I'm either weak or strong, and have to find my way back to being a neutral grip to get back to where I need to be. So yeah, that's great stuff. I hope our listeners really take something home with this. Next up, we have a little bit of a discussion. Go ahead and watch this video and we'll get going on it.
This will be aggressive.
Yeah, I think this might start over the water. This could be a big hook.
Beauty. Thank you. So interesting because when they played the United States Open here just a couple of years ago, Phil played this as a 3-shot hole.
Maybe one last thrill for the day. That's way out over the water, not hooking back from 265. Phil's going to take about 15 steps forward and hit another one.
The 5th. Check that, the 4th for Phil.
Well, this is most improved.
Phil trying to just trying to get out of here at this point.
That is a 9 here at the home hole. The damage was done earlier in the day, but you hate writing down a 9.
Well, Phil Mickelson. Not the Phil Mickelson we're used to seeing there, is it?
I mean, I don't know which Phil Mickelson we really see nowadays. I think probably not the Phil we see on the senior PGA Tour.
Not at all. I think it's a very different world for those guys senior PGA Tour to PGA Tour course setups, etc. So hard to judge wins and losses. But question being, will we see Phil win another tournament on the PGA Tour?
I think it is going to be very difficult. And you can really put that to, will we see a Tiger win again, or will we put a Phil win again? And I don't know. I don't recall the last time Phil won on tour, but it's been years. And I haven't seen a whole lot of great from him. That's why I think he made that step to go play on the senior PGA. He won a few times on the senior PGA. I think that was more as a booster to his confidence he was trying to get. And then he comes back to play with the young studs of today, and it's a different game. These guys are out here and really playing well. I think it's going to be difficult for Phil to win another tournament on the PGA Tour.
I agree. He obviously could. I don't think anyone is going to be surprised if he were to, but the stars are going to have to align a little bit. I give him credit, though. He stepped in and kept his speed relatively high for an older golfer. But I don't know. Phil's never been in the greatest of shape in his playing career. And I think that's going to catch him a little quicker than it might catch some of these younger guys. I mean, look at Tom Brady in the NFL. I think you're going to start to see some of these younger guys play longer. Unfortunately, Phil wasn't quite in that era. So, no, if you had asked me, I don't think we're going to see Phil win another PGA Tour event, personally.
I look at it and I hear what you're saying on, give Phil credit. He's been able to kind of stay with the times, pick up his speed, try and stay with these guys. But I also saw Phil picking up his speed to gain more distance, but to lose a lot of accuracy. And that's what's costing him. It's not the distance off the tee that's costing him. Tiger is no longer the longest guy on tee, and he's no longer the longest guy on tee by a lot. And there's plenty of guys that are out driving Tiger now, but Tiger was still able to put, 72 holes of golf together to win a few tournaments in the last couple of years, right? I don't necessarily, and since Bryson is really amped up with his picking up speed and whatnot, we haven't really seen Bryson go out and dominate. I think it's a fallacy that, you need to be longer to win, right? But I think Phil's fallen into that kind of trap that he needs to do things like that in order to stay competitive with these young guys.
Yeah, that could be another conversation, I think, for sure. I know strokes gained is a thing. I don't argue with it, but I also don't necessarily just teach it, because at the end of the day, how close you hit it is probably those are the guys you're going to see winning. So I get the argument of hit it farther, and you can hit it closer because you have a different club in your hand, but you have to keep it in the lot. If you don't, you're done. You just won't compete.
Well, I think the perfect example of that is really looking back at when Tiger won the Open and did not hit a driver off the tee one time. All the other guys are hitting bombs and doing whatever, and he took a stinger iron off the tee. And I don't think enough people know how huge that victory was for him to do that, right? So I think Phil could probably take a lesson from that page and say, look, I could dial back the speed a little bit. I could dial back the length that I'm trying to hit and really just focus on my accuracy. And if he does that, I really do think he has a chance to win. But as it stands right now, I think I'm going to go with, I don't see Phil winning another tournament on the PGA Tour. Senior PGA, absolutely, but not on the PGA.
All right, guys, next up, we are going to hear about Next 18 Now and how they make it incredibly easy to find events in your local area.
good stuff. Really think next 18 hours is the way to go for helping you guys find your local events, find a course to host your events, as well as finding teachers in your area like Matt to help you out. Matt, bucket list time. What you got for me?
So, I went to Ferris State University in Michigan, and there's golf pros kind of all over the world. So I was just reading an article the other day and thinking about traveling. My wife and I are actually planning a November trip. Not to say we'll go here, but definitely one that's on my bucket list is Cape Kidnappers in New Zealand. That's been one I've thought about for a long time. It's halfway across the world. Actually, it's fully across the world. But yeah, if you want to get off the grid and go play, just Google it. If you don't know about it, it's unreal. So I would love to go there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I tell you what, there's nothing like Australian and New Zealand golf, buddy. It is a different world. I lived overseas in Melbourne, Australia for 7.5 years, and the courses out there are unbelievable. So yeah, that's a great one. I'm a little jealous. Can I stow away with you? That would be a fun one. So I don't know if this is necessarily a bucket list or more of a frustration. I've been playing golf for 35 years, and I've had myself, believe it or not, 5 albatrosses.
Wow.
5 albatrosses and never a hole-in-one. So bucket list, it's got to be the hole-in-one for me, man. Like I feel like 2021 is going to be the year. Hopefully.
You and I need to flip and trade places because you've got albatrosses. I have none, but I've got 3 hole-in-ones.
You have 3.
Yeah. We need to just flip flop. You need one of mine and I'll take one of yours.
Yeah. I actually got my second and third were on consecutive days on the same hole with the same club.
Wow. That's unreal.
Yeah. It's 5 wood from about 210 to an elevated green, and couldn't see either of them go in. So we're walking around the green for about 10 minutes, trying to figure out where it went. But yeah, I've knocked them in on par 5s on my second a bunch of times, and I've come close on the hole-in-one. Slam dunked, destroyed a cup, had to call a superintendent and say, hey, I need you to come out and fix this cup for me. To spinning it back and hitting the flagstick, to lipping out, to rolling it in, to bouncing it off the flagstick. I mean, I just can't get one to stick. So yeah, that's 2021. I'm going to take an extra 5 seconds of preparation on every par 3 and really gun for it this year.
I love that. Just do the Eric Anders Lang ace camp on every one of them. So you're bound to hole 1.
Yeah, exactly. Well, good stuff, Matt. Look forward to meeting up with you next week, where we will be recapping the Genesis Invitational and previewing the first World Golf Championship event of the year, the Mexico Championship.
All right, Jared. We'll see you next week.
All right, buddy. Take care. Bye.